Hello, my name is Mr. DeVincent, and I am the proud principal of Paul R. Smith Middle School. Welcome to PRSMS, home of the Eagles. The purpose of this video is to review the Pasco County Schools Student Code of Conduct. You may also review the Code of Conduct from the district's website at www.pasco.k12.fl.us/SSPS/conduct. Teachers at Paul R. Smith Middle School will be reviewing both the Code of Conduct as well as school and classroom expectations with all students. The Student Code of Conduct shall be enforced 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on all school campuses, school transportation, and at all school functions. And the code is intended for the use of students, school district staff, and parents. Its purpose is the safety and security of our students, staff, and visitors. We all share responsibility for the safety and security of all individuals on school campuses and within our community. Paul R. Smith Middle School is committed to creating a respectful, caring community that supports college, career, and life readiness for all students. Every school year represents a fresh start for our students to have the opportunity to do their very best to learn new things, to progress academically, and make positive behavioral choices. In order to accomplish this goal, it is essential that all members of the school community know and support the expectations of the Student Code of Conduct. The Student Code of Conduct communicates minimum requirements for student behavior and summarizes the policies of the District School Board of Pasco County. And the handbook includes the definition and responsibilities of rights for students, defines the rules of conduct and the behavioral expectations for students, establishes consequences for violation of the rules of conduct, and describes the process for handling discipline infractions.
Students, we believe that a safe, secure, nurturing, and civil environment is essential to creating a community that works together. That being said, we have a respect and civility policy that promotes mutual respect, civility, and orderly conduct among all of our teachers, students, staff members, and any member of the community. This policy is in place and is intended to maintain a safe, harassment-free environment for all. This environment is free of disruptive, demeaning, intimidating, threatening, or any aggressive behavior. Our staff will treat you, their colleagues, and members of our community with respect and will expect the same in return. We will not conduct work with those who use obscenities or otherwise speak in demanding, loud, insulting, or threatening manners. Volatile, hostile, or aggressive actions and words will not be tolerated. Individuals who engage in these activities may face penalties, up to and including criminal prosecution. Students, you guys have rights. We want you to know them. You guys have the right to be informed of all of our school rules and regulations. You have the right to know what those consequences are in case any of those rules and regulations are broken. You have the right to due process. You have the right to an appropriate education. You should know how grades are calculated, and you have the right to participate in symbolic or religious activities. Each of us has the right to not be discriminated against, and the right to represent yourselves and your fellow students in a student council. You guys have the rights and freedoms to personal dress within the Code of Conduct. As a student, you can peacefully assemble, and you have the right to understand the search and seizure policy. Guys, most importantly, we believe you have the right to be free here at this school, free from bullying, hazing, name-calling, harassment, and you have the right to report such behaviors. We expect that from you. We expect that you guys will take care of each other. We expect that you guys will treat each other with respect and treat your teachers with respect. Thank you.
Hello students, I'm going to go over the rules of conduct. Here at Paul R. Smith Middle School, we utilize Pasco County Schools' discipline matrix. This matrix is progressive in nature and consists of 3 levels. Level 1 are for the minor infractions of the Student Code of Conduct, such as tardiness, dress code violation, failure to comply with classroom or school rules. Level 2 infractions are more serious in nature and/or are repeated Level 1 offenses. These may include disruptive behavior, skipping, leaving class without permission, fighting or physical confrontation, or academic dishonesty. Level 3 infractions are the most serious and typically result in out-of-school suspension. These may include physical use of force or violence against a person who doesn't retaliate, use or possession of drugs or alcohol, major campus disruptions. Please read the Student Code of Conduct for all discipline infractions.
Students, as part of the district's progressive discipline and code of conduct, we utilize progressive consequences. When inappropriate behavior occurs, disciplinary measures will be applied within a framework that shifts the focus to corrective behavior. Discipline will be issued based on the severity of the behavior leading to discipline, and the previous discipline history will be taken into account. Please see your planner for a list of progressive behavioral consequences.
Students, I'm now going to talk to you about attendance. You should not arrive on campus prior to 8:25 in the morning. When you arrive at school, you must remain in the cafeteria or courtyard until the bell rings. You may not be in any buildings unless under the direct supervision of a staff member. Excused absences guarantee the right to make up any and all assignments on the days that you are absent at full credit. The student is responsible for asking their teacher for makeup tests, assignments, and related work. Students will be given a minimum of 2 calendar days per day or per period of absence to make up related work.
Students, in order to promote an orderly learning environment here at Paul R. Smith Middle School, we have a dress code in place. Our student dress code policy is really straightforward and can be found in the front office. We just want to make sure that you understand some of the key points of our dress code. So first and foremost, both our male and female students are not permitted to wear tank tops unless covered by an overshirt. On any of our shirts, pants, or any kind of accessories, we cannot have any type of profanity, sexually suggestive images, words, or phrases, images of weapons or violence, or any kind of advertisements for tobacco, alcohol, drugs, or which identify the student as a member of any kind of a gang. We must have all of our body parts or any undergarments completely covered at all times. We can't have any hats or hoods, any kind of head coverings. And students, your shorts must be secured at the waist and must be of a modest length. Make sure that any kind of pants for all students cannot be so tight as to be able to be see-through. Students, strapless and or spaghetti straps, t-shirts of any kind are not permitted. Tops must be long enough to clearly overlap the waistline. We have to wear shoes or any kind of foot protection for hygienic reasons and obviously also for your own safety. Slippers are not permissible. Ultimately, students, your dress just needs to be in such a way that it's not a distraction. It needs to simply promote an optimum learning environment.
We are now going to talk about academic integrity. Students have the responsibility to uphold the highest standards of academic integrity in the student's own work. What is considered violating academic integrity? Cheating, altering or interfering with grading, using or consulting any materials or personal electronic devices, wireless communication devices not authorized by the teacher during a test, submitting a purchased or schoolwork production service including as found on the internet, plagiarism, incorporating the words, sentences, paragraphs, or part of another person's writings without giving appropriate credit and representing the product as one's own, representing another scholarly work as one's own. Eagles, keep in mind we hold you to a high standard and expect our students to do their own work and soar. Hello students, I'm here to talk about wireless communication devices. Students may use wireless communication devices before and after school, during their lunch break, in between classes, during after-school activities and school-related functions. and while on the bus provided, such use does not create a distraction, disruption, or otherwise interfere with the education environment. Distracting behaviors that create an unsafe environment will not be tolerated. Use of wireless communication devices, except those approved by a teacher or administrator, at any other time is prohibited, and the wireless communication device must be stored out of sight. Wireless communication devices must be fully powered off during standardized tests and other times as directed by your teacher or administrator.
Now I'm going to go over the transportation, the bus rules. First, riding is a privilege. You can lose it with your words and your actions. Please be at the stop at least 10 minutes early. Requests to ride other buses will not be granted. You need to go to and from school on your assigned bus. At dismissal time 2:55, please proceed directly to the bus. Buses will leave at 3:02, with or without you, so please make sure you are there on time. Only students who ride a bus should be in the bus loop. All other students, if you are a car rider, should go to the car loop, and back gate folks should go to the back gate. Walkers should immediately exit out the front of the school. There are several bus rules that I want to go over, and there are other rules, additional rules, on page 22 of the Student Code of Conduct that you need to look over. First rule is to sit properly and stay seated in your assigned seat during the entire bus ride. Do not throw anything inside or outside the bus, and do not stick anything out of the bus window. 3. Talk quietly and respectful to your neighbors. 4. Do not litter, mark, deface, or damage any part of the bus. 5. Do not eat, drink, or chew gum on the bus. 6. You get on and off at your assigned bus stop. Getting on or off at a different bus stop will result in a discipline referral. And 7. Follow all instructions given from the bus driver, whether you like them or not. If you choose not to follow these rules, there are consequences for the bus. We will follow the Student Code of Conduct policy.
The first offense will be parent contact and disciplinary action as decided by administration. The second offense will have a 3-day bus suspension. The third offense will have a 5-day bus suspension, and the fourth offense will have a 10-day bus suspension. At the fourth referral, there will be a review of the student's behavioral and intervention history, which will culminate in the development of an intervention plan for the student. The fifth offense will be the final and will be a recommendation for bus expulsion.
Now we'll talk about the back gate privileges. Students may use the back gate if they follow the rules. If you do not follow the rules, this privilege will be taken from you. The gate opens at 8:25 and will close at 8:45, since that is when our school day starts. The back gate will reopen at 2:55 upon dismissal and will be closed at 3:05. Please make sure you make your way out of the back gate as soon as the bell rings. Students staying after school for activities, tutoring, or detention must exit the front of the school. Do not climb over the fence when locked or throw a bike over the fence. Only walkers and bike riding students who live in the neighborhood are allowed to use the back gate. No car riders are allowed to be picked up or dropped off at the back gate. Students breaking the rules will not be allowed to use the back gate. At Paul R. Smith Middle School, we also have a search and seizure policy. School authorities are charged with the responsibility of keeping everyone on campus safe. Part of that responsibility gives us the right to search the person and/or property, including book bags or lockers, when the school authority has reasonable suspicion of a violation of law or school rules has occurred or is occurring. As part of search and seizure, the school is authorized to use detection devices and specially trained law enforcement canines. After a search, parents will be contacted and the appropriate action consequence will take place.
Students, bullying is defined as systematically and chronically inflicting physical hurt or psychological distress on one or more students or school employees. It is unwanted and repeated written, verbal, or physical behavior, including threats, insults, dehumanizing gestures that is severe or pervasive enough to create an intimidating, hostile, or offensive educational environment. Examples include unwanted teasing, social exclusion, threats, which could be verbal or written and may include social media, intimidation, stalking, humiliation, or physical violence. Harassment means any threatening, insulting, or dehumanizing gestures or physical violence which places another person in reasonable fear of harm. Students should report any cases of bullying or harassment to their teacher or another adult. All cases will be investigated and serious consequences will be issued if the bullying is founded. To be blunt, bullying or harassment will not be tolerated by the staff of this school, nor should it be tolerated by the students. We all need to work together to make Paul R. Smith Middle School a bully-free school. Students, we now need to talk about some more serious matters. The use of illegal substances and drugs, including alcohol, are harmful to students. Use, distribution, and/or possession of these substances will not be tolerated on any school campus or at any school function. Students found in possession of these items will be dealt with severely, which may include the recommendation for student expulsion. Students, please do not bring drugs, alcohol, or other illicit chemicals to campus.
At Paul R. Smith, we have a zero tolerance policy for such things as weapons of any kind, fighting, drugs, drug paraphernalia, disruption of school, campus, or function, touching, threatening school board employees, or bullying. Any offenses will result in an out-of-school suspension.
Students, you have both rights and responsibilities. One of your rights, and that of your parents, is the right to appeal a discipline decision. This formal appeal must be provided in writing within 3 days of a discipline decision, and verbal requests must be followed up in writing. Students, our central goal is to teach all students to engage in positive behaviors that promote hope, engagement, and well-being so that all students can develop the social emotional skills to be successful post their graduation. Students, we are proud to be Eagles, and we hope you are too. Let's have a great school year, and let's soar.